Welcome to Enlightened Game with Slim Sir, as he takes the lessons he learned from the streets, commonly known as the game, and applies them to everyday life, helping everyday people win the game of life, focusing on relationships, money, and the winner's lifestyle. This podcast will turn any chump into a champ. So if you're ready, let the game begin. And now, your host, the most valuable player himself, Slim Sir.
Welcome to Enlightened Game, episode 25. I am Slim Sir. This is my audio notebook and my therapy session, and today I need therapy. Today, we're going to take the conversation a little bit different, in a different direction. And I'm going to tell you real time what's going on in my life and how I apply the game to it, so that if you yourself are in a situation similar to mine, you have the principles and the example to draw off of so that you can win. First, in my personal life, going through a lot of pressure, man, from just family, friends, and just not even my issues, but their issues. I mean, face it, life really is about your relationships with other people, right? And so when you have relationships with other people, you sometimes have to take on a little bit of their burdens in a way. And so their burdens become your burdens. So on a personal level, I'm going through stuff. On a business level, I could be always doing better. But let's just keep it real. It was brought to my attention that someone had took a picture of Game God, the cover, my latest ebook, and a quote. And then they put a video next to it. I think the quote was about me talking about how lame it was to be taking out your frustrations out on a female. And the corresponding video was of someone beating a woman. And I didn't like the video, to be honest with you. I didn't like the fact that the person took my picture and a quote from my book and put it next to that. Even though I condemn that, I didn't want to see that, and I didn't want it attached to my name or my book. So I reached out to the person, and I addressed it directly. And I told them what I'm telling you now. But with this addition, I can't control what you do. You're going to do whatever you want to do. But don't get in the way of this work, because this is God's work. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, and I'm not trying to make myself important, because I'm not. I'm just a regular brother, just like anybody else. But for all of you who are listening, every time I say this is my therapy session, you have to understand what this is to me. For most of my life, I was losing. For most of my life, I had poor self-esteem. For most of my life, everything that I did, I was right at the point of success, but I always gave up on myself, and I was a complete failure with no self-esteem, and people saw greatness in me, but I just didn't see it in myself. That's the truth. At a certain point, I got introduced to some real wisdom, and it changed my life. Okay? It changed my life. And it changed me to the point so deeply that I said, no, I gotta share this with other people just like me. So I started writing books, Glory to the Game and Game God. Why? To help my brothers, to save my brothers and my sisters from prison and from death. Because I honestly felt so grateful and feel so grateful every single day that I have this body of knowledge that whenever I have a problem or a situation, I could depend on it. And it's giving me my legs. It's giving me a sense of manhood. And it's giving me a sense of purpose. So I'm always indebted and grateful to the game. And that's why I do what I do. Now, with that being said, yes, I know there's some fucked up shit that happens in the game. And yes, I am against it. That is the truth. But at no time is it in my personal values to criticize anybody publicly. I don't do that. I'm not in the business of shaming my people. I'm not in the business of shaming my brothers or my sisters. I'm in the business of saving and elevating my brothers and my sisters that are in the game or that have past experiences like myself. And anybody who is with me, I'm asking that you don't ever get into a debate or argument, a verbal argument with anybody, much less, down them and degrade them and shame them for their past. We all have pasts. We all have fucked up shit that we've done in our lives. But if I'm preaching the principle of advancement and looking forward, then okay, we have to look forward and not look at a person's past. You see? Now, without naming any particular groups or particular app or website or whatever, there's some people that they thrive on the negative. They thrive on downing people. That's not my philosophy. That is not my philosophy. My father taught me a parable, a little story when I was a young boy, and it always stayed with me. He said that the sun and the wind were having a bet. There was a man on the earth, and the wind said, let's make a bet. Let's see who can make this man take his jacket off the fastest. So the sun agreed to the bet, and the wind went first and blew a cold wind. And the man held on to his jacket and held tight to his jacket because he was cold. Then the sun had his chance, and the sun just shined and shined so bright, and it became so warm and hot that the man took his jacket off. Now, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. That is a very, very deep principle. If you want people to open up to what you have to teach them, you can't be cold towards them. You have to be warm towards them. You see? So any brother or sister in this game, I have always treated them with love, no matter what they have done, with the exceptions. I don't deal with I can forgive someone for domestic violence to a degree, depending on the case, but I will never forgive a child pedophile or a rapist or some bullshit like that. Because if you know my story, you know why I'm against that. Anyway, I wanted to make it clear that if you're a real man, you deal with your brothers directly and you deal with them on the positive, man. If we're all guilty of doing something fucked up at some time in our lives, who are we to point the finger at someone else? And how is that advancement? How are we supposed to grow, man, as a group, as individuals, if we're always pointing out and trying to shame each other for things that we say is, that we don't accept it? Look, man, my purpose, whether I don't give a damn who likes it or who don't like it. I don't care how many fans I got, or this is not about fans or subscribers or followers for me. At the end of the day, my purpose is to save my brothers and my sisters from prison and from death. And I don't give a damn what I have to do to save my people. I'm not going to break none of the rules or laws. I'm going to follow the example that I set in my own book, In Glory to the Game. But I'm going to ask you that are out there, don't use what I've been teaching to shame your brother or your sister. Use what I teach to elevate them. You see? Some of you have asked me, why do you take so much time and energy and effort to talking to pimps and to hoes? And here's my answer. Because I always wondered who was going to save the pimps and the hoes and the dope boys and the hustlers and the players. Who was going to them? Because every time I seen religious people get righteous, they left them and nobody turned their back and went to them to go save those people. But my grandma taught me growing up that Jesus used to sit with the alcoholics and the prostitutes. Jesus used to sit with them. And when he was crucified in the middle of two thieves. The life of Jesus, he was always around people that society rejected. And he always went to go save them. He didn't give a damn about the major society. He cared about the people that everybody else didn't give a damn about. And that's my purpose. Straight up. Because there's some of us who will point the finger, and incriminate our brothers or our sisters for something fucked up that they did in ignorance and send them to prison. And we like to shame our brothers and sisters instead of raise them up and elevate them. But I'm going to ask each and every one of you, if we never look to the right or to the left or in front of us or behind us to elevate our brother and sister, how in the hell are we going to get elevated? Who is coming to elevate us? Ain't nobody coming to elevate us. So that means we got to elevate each other. Straight up, man. You got to have a purpose, man. You got to live for something bigger than yourself instead of these little stupid ass social media beefs. In the greater scheme of things, that don't matter. It don't advance the objective of our people. It don't. It sets us back. All of this bullshit beef, all of this bullshit talk, none of it matters. None of it is going to help you win the game. The real game is internal. The real game is, can you get your inner winner? That inner righteousness to subdue your inner lane. Your inner God. Can you get your inner God to subdue your inner devil? You all looking on the outside for a God and a devil. The God and the devil is inside of you. Straight up. And you got control. But you don't take it. You let it control you. That's the whole purpose of Glory to the Game. So how in the hell are you going to use that I intended for good to shame your brother when every human being has to have that internal war and win that fight? You should encourage your brothers and sisters to fight that good fight instead of shame them. That's a damn shame. All of us should be ashamed of ourselves. We should take the time out, man. I mean, damn it. If you could get some of the letters and the emails that I get from people that this book and my books have benefited, why would you use that now to go shame a brother? That don't make no damn sense, man. Let's put it in perspective. At the end of the day, you know what? It's about time for my shameless plug, but fuck my shameless plug today. Fuck that, because it's more than money. It's about more than money. I got 30 seconds left, and I want to pose some questions to you. You can't take the money when you die. You can't take it with you. So what the fuck are you going to take with you? I propose this, real simple. Take a good conscience with you. Take a good reputation with you. And if you have children, let your children benefit from your good reputation. I thank you for these few minutes of your time. And we're going to need some more therapy, but peace.